Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Summit EU coverage. We've got two more best of ones coming your way, and the fourth of those, well, that was a weird way to say that. The next best of one coming up is MYM versus Next.kz. We'll have one more coming up after this. Our draft is already well underway, and I think we can just hop right into it. And there we have it. MYM had that luxury first pick, and they grabbed the Ember Spirit. Next.kz, they grabbed the Bat Rider, and those first four bands and first two picks, the six scary heroes that usually some combination of those are in the first or second picks and bans. So
yeah, this is pretty standard from a lot of the CIS teams, including Next.kz. When they give away Ember, they like to go Bat Doom. Empire does this. We've seen... I think Empire's the main example, but basically I consider these the two single best heroes to lock down Ember in-game.
Yes.
Reliable Lasso Initiation and Doom, probably the single best hero to deal with him, but you still give away Ember. It's still a lot to give away, but I do like the opening from Next.kz, considering... I also like that they banned Naga, because that has been, to me, MIM's most successful hero overall. It used to be Unicorn who's playing it. It's been Rise lately, but Rise has done a nice job, and, well, they'll have to win with something different here.
Yeah, and important to note that Next.kz do have two stand-ins here. One of them is 1234, who we saw earlier on, but they also have a new one joining the party here, and he's tagged up as ZMAJ, but some of you may recognize him as tagged up as Mitch. I've seen him stand in for the CIS scene a little bit, at least in this last group stage of Star Ladder. So not a total stranger, but not someone that has a big bad competitive history. So.
Gotcha.
But two stand-ins, always a little bit unfortunate to see.
Yeah, they've been using 1234 earlier today. Next.kz is, to me, just kind of an inconsistent team. They seem to just find like a strat that works for them and just keep on running it into the ground until teams start beating it. Like there was like a solid like 6-7 game stretch where they were just running Shadow Fiend mid, going Radiant side, always would rush a Midas, and they would just win on the back of like a 6 slot of that Shadow Fiend. But teams started figuring out, they just started ganking the lane earlier, or in a few cases, I think, banning the Shadow Fiend. So, well, Next.kz, let's see if this latest variant works for them. I do like the way they've drafted so far. Rubik, also a pretty good pick against Ember because of the instant disable. You just lift him, and then if the Bat or Doom are nearby, then that gives you that just reliable setup for the Lasso or the Doom. So I think, given that they've given up Ember, it's a good way to go. Given that they've given.
Yeah, and this is a good time to pick Rubik as well.
That'll leave your brain all melted.
A little bit of a deny pick also. Rubik works very well against Doom and Bat Rider to a lesser extent, but Doom in particular. And a lot of teams do really like pairing Rubik with Ancient Apparition. Just a great support duo that complement each other's weaknesses. So an all-around solid third pick for Next.kz. The third and fourth bands, very support heavy. Dazzle and Shadow Shaman were taken out of the pool by MYM. And I see why they wouldn't want to hand over the Rasta, but he would have worked very well as a third pick for them right here, especially on the dire side of things.
Yeah, Shadow Shaman is okay. The main thing is, well, MYM banned it, so yeah I don't know. It's like they don't really have much other Roche capability. Ancient Apparition is useless against Roche. In fact, using Chilling Touch actually hurts your ability to Roche quickly. Ember Spirit, pretty damn useless until much later on in the game, by which point it's like Roche is, less of a factor generally.
Ground Pound Earthshaker, their third pick here, LD.
Ancient Apparition, Earthshaker, this is a classic duo that used to be very popular. The idea is just like you have a very long range, reliable initiation in Fissure, and you just cold feet, Fissure, and it's almost a guaranteed cold feet. But the reason we don't see it much anymore is just that people don't pick Ancient Apparition for cold feet anymore. They pick him for Chilling Touch. They pick him for his ultimate. So this is something the Chinese teams used to do a lot of, and it's cool to see the combo coming back. It is a big AoE, just ball of doom for MYM. I wonder what they do for these other picks. Do we see them go into like an Elder Titan? Quite a few teams have been experimenting with that. I think they need to go dual core, though. They're up against Bat and Doom and Good Lockdown and Rubik. If you just go single core Ember and you... The other thing is they ban out Dazzle, who to me was probably like the ideal support to pick with Ember, either that or Tree, but they've already picked Ancient Apparition Earthshaker. They can't protect this Ember if he gets lasted in Doom. It's just not possible, so they basically need a second carry.
And these are also two supports that can't really double as anything else. There are a couple like the Mirana can be that flex pick where you don't really know exactly where she's going to be until you see all of the heroes, but pretty straightforward with the AA and Earthshaker. Not too many surprises that you can pull out. So I agree with you. MYM, what can they do with these next few picks? Nature's Prophet is one that's still in the pool if they wanted to get a little bit of pushing power. Maybe they'll go with something for some more setup. They could grab a Darkseer in the off lane as well. Would make them rather melee heavy, but
Yeah, Darkseer wouldn't be too bad. It's also a high priority target to Doom or Lasso. Well, then that being said, Disruptor is one of the better supports to punish Darkseer.
yeah.
Mostly because if he surges out, you just wait and you glimpse him back in, and then you can follow up with some sort of, Doom as a Stolen Centaur or a Net and look to kill him from there. So
And Kinetic Field just works well against Surge as well.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how fast you're running if you're stuck inside that little
Prophet's
arc lightning.
okay, but I just generally when you go Prophet, you want a lot of split push to go with him just to make him more effective, give him more space.
Yeah.
And
true.
Ember he's good at just clearing waves, but he's not really good at like threatening towers. So they'll go the Darkseer. Good call by you. And I guess the main question is, what's their last pick gonna be now? So they can tri-lane the Ember, and they could pick another solo mid. I think that's kind of the natural choice here. The main issue is just like what do you run if you run for secondary core here? Puck.
Yeah.
I think Puck works very well. If I'm Next.kz, I definitely ban Puck right now because I was thinking TA, but TA gets destroyed by Batrider. And I was thinking Shadow Fiend, but he's a little too greedy, and just doesn't synergize that well with Ember. To me, they want more crowd control. So I think you ban Puck here, and then I don't know what MYM do.
If they wanted to go greedy, I think they could try to get away with a Shadow Fiend if they wanted to take the game late, but it would be risky. There's that Puck ban that you were mentioning.
Yeah, that's kind of the obvious ban at this point, I guess. And
They could grab something like a Storm as well.
I still think SF's okay. Storm, yeah.
Another core that can
like
scale.
He's gonna get destroyed by Bat and Doom, but the other option is something like Dragonite. That might be a better choice because it's a reliable stun to set up for Fissure and Cold Feet. It does poorly against Bat in lane if the Bat does go mid. But looks more likely the Bat will be off lane, but like ultimately, sure he loses his lane, whatever. He's still Dragonite. Like Tiro doesn't have to win his lane, so
yeah. Ooh, TA the final.
They're
ban.
expecting an off lane Bat and a safe lane Doom, so MYM will ban the TA. And the other thing is Next.kz can go into Shadow Fiend themselves, something that would actually be quite good this game. So I wonder if they'll do that.
Yeah, would be a little bit greedy, but they could get away with it. A nice tri-core lineup. One of the other nice things about this opening that we see here, Ember Spirit first picked and then Batrider Doom first and second picked by the opposition, is that both Batrider and Doom are very flexible. And oh boy, there's the Shadow Fiend right there. So Next.kz, they'll be able to take it late.
Yeah, get ready for some Midas gaming from Next.kz. They'd love to go for like ultra hard carry Shadow Fiend. Midas on him. The Doom might skip it, but he'll definitely be going into Shadow Blade. Well, actually they have the stamens, but when they run their full roster, that's what they always do. So we'll see if they adjust their items based on the stand-ins. It is a bit greedy from Next.kz. Even their supports need levels, but I still like Shadow Fiend here. He's a little bit weak against Ember Spirit is the only issue. It's a matchup where like you can farm well, and then all of a sudden he hits level 5 to 7 and can just dive you for a first blood. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see if they look to provide some support. Also, ES and H Apparition are a fantastic roaming duo, and that means Next.kz. What do they do if they gank mid? This SF will just have to have great map awareness because these supports are not the best counter gankers.
Yeah, Ember Spirit is really just good against anyone who's squishy in the mid lane. Usually it's those squishy int heroes that we see, but Shadow Fiend, for the sake of this conversation, falls right into that grouping, and Ember should be able to have his way with him. One of the problems with the ES Ancient Apparition duo is they can roam well, but in lane they can struggle a little bit. Okay, Clockwork, the final pick for MYM. That is not one that I would have predicted. It will be a Rise Clockwork. So a fair chance that he'll be headed to the mid lane. Interesting. Very interesting.
Mid clock is not a good match. If the SF plays it right, it's not a good matchup. But that's in a 1v1. And Earthshaker and Ancient Apparition can gank very effectively. Even the Darkseer could come in early. You Ion Shell Clockwork, he can just go slaughter SF. So I'm expecting MYM to apply a crap ton of pressure to the mid lane, and the Shadow Fiend is going to have to play very well. Not to
Yes. And the other nice thing about having the Darkseer here is the Ion Shell mixed with Flame Guard is very potent, as we've seen.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is not only their like late game combo of Vacuum into Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, but also what you're mentioning, which is just the early to mid game ganking prowess.
Just massive AoE damage they can put out.
So it should be a SF mid, I imagine. Yeah, he's going mid.
Yeah.
And well, this is actually MYM's last match in the Summit Europe, and they are 1 and 5.
1 and 5. Yeah,
so they're pretty much eliminated from playoff contention, but they can at least salvage some pride here with a win.
Salvage some pride, and they can give Next.kz a run for their money. Right now, Next.kz are... What is their record? I had it in my head, and now I'm spacing.
1 and 2, I think.
1 and 2, yeah. So they still have a lot of games to go. If they lose this one, they'll be in rough shape, and I think it'll be rough for them to make top 4. If they win this one, they'll be okay, and still have some rough games to go, but Next.kz really need a win here. So for MYM, this is all about making sure Next.kz don't have an easy road to the top 4, more so than securing their road themselves.
It's the vindictive win. You win just to screw the opponent over.
Yes, exactly. So, okay, Darkseer will reconnect it. They resumed a little too quickly, and Darkseer was resetting his connection as well. So now I think everyone is ready to rock and roll. And, oh, wait, no, he was just still DC'd. Never mind.
Yeah, so no what a fucka for Next.kz. He is normally the Shadow Fiend player, but we'll see if 1, 2, 3, 4 can fill those large shoes that he's left. Yeah, I missed that guy. It's a great name.
Yeah, so Crit DCs again, and I reckon we'll have another pause coming out here unless he's already reconnected.
Okay.
And yeah, there's the...
they were a little slow on the pause.
Admin LD there.
Oh, just, want to make sure we have a good, clean fight.
Yeah, it's good. No hits below the belt. But unfortunately, Crit has been having some connection issues. We were slow getting into this game. We failed to load once, and then for this one, Crit barely loaded in. Just with, I don't know, 10 seconds left or something, he hopped on in there. So... not the most stable internet, and, well, hopefully it levels out here, or else MYM are going to have a rough game on their hands. This is indeed the Luxembourg server.
Yep, just waiting to see what the issues are. I'm checking pings now. Everybody is doing pretty well. Next.kz is bad pings, but it's Next.kz. They're in Kazakhstan, so not the best connection to Luxembourg.
Yeah. There are no Kazakhstan servers as far as I'm aware of. But
yeah, that's one of those ones where it sucks for them, but it's not. It's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Filipino players have awful internet, but like you can make a Philippine server, nobody else will ping well to it. So
yeah,
and a lot of the people in the Philippines won't. Like it's the same thing with the Brazil server. A lot of the South American players do not ping well to the Brazil server. Even some players in Brazil ping better to the U.S. because of the way the routing works. So
the infrastructure and
just
whatnot.
Like some countries just don't have the best routing or internet infrastructure, and it's a bit unfortunate.
Definitely so.
So Ancient Apparition I guess we should run through the teams.
Yes, on the Radiant side we've got Next.kz. It'll be Stallcat playing the off-lane Bat Rider. In the mid it will be stand-in 1, 2, 3, 4 on the Shadow Fiend, and that leaves us with a tri-lane in the bottom. Stand-in Mitch, tagged up as ZMAJ, will be on the Rubik, Reeves on the support Disruptor, and they will be joining Mantis on the position 1 Doom here in the safe lane.
Yeah, and then on the Dire side, we have Rise looking to redeem himself after that Tidehunter performance earlier today. He'll be going mid as your Clockwork, normally known for his Naga play. Ace as the off-lane Darkseer. He played Centaur in the previous match. Crit on the Earthshaker, Unicorn the Ancient Apparition, and that does leave Link as the safe lane farming Ember Spirit. So, mid lane, Clock versus Shadow Fiend. If they're left alone and you play really well as SF, you should just free farm.
Yeah.
The thing is that when Clock walks up to you, you just back off. You just have to hug your hill. If you get caught in cogs away from creeps, you can die. But otherwise, you should be fine.
Yeah, it's just all about positioning. And like most matchup with Shadow Fiend, at the early levels, the opposition has a little bit of an advantage before he racks up those souls in the Necromastery, but once he gets level 3, level 4, and has a good 12, 15 souls to his name, he gets very difficult to last hit against, and you just really can't go blow for blow with him because he hits so darn hard.
Yeah, Rise also didn't... He started with a bunch of gauntlets just to help his last hitting against the SF, but the downside is no stout shield, so he's taking a lot of harassment already, even with SF's low base damage.
Yeah, I think a stout shield is almost a necessity against a Shadow Fiend like this.
Well, you want to outlast hit him, but it's like, you can also just look to rush a bottle, and end of the day, Clockwork can harass him a lot with cogs and battery assault too, so, yeah.
You may want to grab an earlier point in Rocket Flare than normal. He may grab it at level 3 here because he can Bottle Crow, and you can use that to spam and pick up some stray last hits when you're getting harassed back out of lane. He is doing okay for now, though. 5 and 4 on the Clockwork versus the 2 and 2 Shadow Fiend, about what we would expect out of the gate. Up top, Stallcat getting harassed by the Ancient Apparition, but not enough for a kill.
You want bottom lane? Ace is diving here. He's got Iron Shell in line. Reeves is only level 1. Ooh, nice lift to keep him alive, but Well, you see at the early levels, Rubik and Disruptor just lack damage. That's their main issue. They have great lockdown. They have the great, like, just disable for Darkseer at later levels, but early levels, they just don't have the damage to zone him out very effectively.
Yep. Not much they can do against him at all. He is now level 2, and that's the big hurdle for Darkseer. Passing that first bridge and getting Surge, now he can be much more aggressive. Shadow Fiend grabs the 2-minute rune. It is a regeneration. No bottle on him quite yet, but we'll top him back off to full health, full mana. Level 3 does go that second point in Shadow Raise first instead of Necromastery. So looking to spam some spells here. Rise is getting pretty low, but there you go. His bottle will now be delivered.
I'm very surprised Link went for Ember or for Flame Guard over Sleight of Fist because they're running a tri-lane that can easily kill Batrider. If they get Searing Chain, Sleight of Fist combo, and you follow up with Cold Feet Fissure, that's a first blood. So if they don't want to go for the kills, then the Earthshaker and Ancient Apparition should be off pulling. Their big camp got blocked, but they can still look to pull this camp. They can stack other camps for the Ember to farm later. Or they can smoke gank mid, and if they want to get a kill in the lane, then he should be leveling Sleight of Fist. So, just a small thing that's a little unusual, but he'll take a point in it now. Here comes Earthshaker mid, meanwhile, but it is spotted by a Radiant Ward.
Yeah, that 1 point in Flame Guard, though, kind of throws this whole build off. I think once you get that first point, you almost have to commit to the Flame Guard, or else you're stuck with... And you can go a 3-1-1, still get that Searing Chains level 3 for the extra duration at level 5, but then you're in this weird nexus of having a really long cooldown on Sleight of Fist, and I mean, is that first point in Flame Guard really worth much? Most people would venture to say no, based on how little it
Well, if you get one, generally you're taking at least 2 or 3. So.
Yeah, exactly. I guess that's the nice way to
just level 1 Flame Guard's pretty useless, so if you're not going to take 2 points by level 3, you might as well just take Sleight of Fist level 2.
And what makes it useless, it does decent damage, but you just can't keep it up for very long. It's only an 8-second duration, and it takes pretty much anyone just to breathe on you to...
and if you're chasing Bat, you're taking Firefly damage. So it is gone in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
1 second. 3 seconds at level 1 Firefly, 2 seconds level 2. Yeah. It just doesn't last long.
Yeah, not the opposite of a value point against Batrider. But Crit's still having connection issues here. This is going to make things very difficult for MYM. This seems to be a consistent problem here in this match.
You know, one thing that surprises me also is that MYM did not buy Smoke, and there's a Shadow Fiend solo mate against Clockwork, and they're running Ancient Apparition as well as Earthshaker. That is a really good dual roaming combo, like insanely easy to get kills, especially when you have a Clockwork or Ember. Both those heroes are great at setting up, or following up in either case. So I'm a little surprised. Like, it's just you pick Earthshaker. Yeah, he's a good team fight hero, but a lot of his strength is just his ability to roam and set up kills early on. So, or to be annoying with fissure blocking. Like, you can do stuff like fissure block into the Ancient's bottom. I think that's getting fixed in 6.81, but hey, this is still 6.80 for at least a few more hours.
Yeah, right. So. Shadow Fiend is one creepy dude.
I wouldn't call that a dude.
Creepy. I don't know what he is.
Creepy monster.
Yeah, he's got some pretty legit teeth though. He's got some molars back there too. Damn, look at those chompers, those pearly whites.
Someone's been brushing.
Seriously.
Well, they're not very white, but they.
Well, they're white compared to how dark the rest of Shadow Fiend is.
That's true.
All right, he's reconnected now, and we're just waiting for that thumbs up to get back into it. Ready. All right, the time is now. There's the G, and things will commence. So, Shadow Fiend could find himself in some trouble. There is still the Earthshaker hanging out, but there's an Observer right here. And Shadow Fiend knows it. They ping him out, and now there's a rotation down from the Batrider. Crit may get turned around upon.
Yeah, he's got Firefly, Earthshaker, level 2. I don't think they get a first blood here, but they can be annoying.
Yeah, they'll harass him back, and Batrider says, you know what, guys? I wanted to move into the jungle to start stacking and farming anyway. So, well, we'll kill two birds with one stone here.
It looks like he's actually going all the way to the bottom rune. Oh, no, they're going for first blood bottom. Ace on the run.
Yep, he does have Surge available still. Has already been telekinesed. Batrider, no Flame Break, just fire. Invisibility rune, Thunder Strike as well. There's your Surge to the high ground. Ace may still survive. One last auto attack, 7 hit points. There's the cogs to break it up. Very close call, but Darkseer will survive by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, I wonder if he... Well, I guess they needed the damage from Firefly, but I wonder if he should have body blocked for a bit before he Fireflied.
Yeah.
instead of letting him just run under him. But
With 6 hit points, it's one of those.
That's one of those like
It's nitpicking,
too
but
close.
yeah, too close to call. I mean, wishing he had done that for sure now. But Rise, level 5 on this Clockwork. Earthshaker.
They still see the Earthshaker
hanging out. Yeah, that ward is still giving them a lot of vision. This is the Radiant vision right now, and yeah, they know exactly what's going on. They'll engage onto Rise. Telekinesis forward. Bat Rider will Firefly in the cogs, and Rise. There's your first blood. It's Bat Rider that secures the kill. He ends up falling to the Clockwork, but worth it to get that bonus gold. Now crit. Looking to make
suddenly
happen,
7 heroes mid or 6 heroes mid. Just everybody's coming. It's a party.
Yeah, and crit DCs again as Ace rotates towards mid.
Uh-oh.
It's a Soul Ring recipe, and we were talking about the greed, how Shadow Fiend would probably be getting a Midas, but look who's got this one. It's Mantis on the Doom, and you've got the right idea, LD. Let's go into roleplay mode with Doom, and he's not much more beautiful than the Shadow Fiend, to be honest.
Yeah, this is Next.kz Dota. They like their Midases. They are one of the greediest CIS teams out there.
What
if
model
not
is,
the greediest.
Doom has dreads? Oh my gosh, I never noticed this before, LD. I have a new second favorite hero. Look, he's even got rings in him too. Oh man. This guy's awesome.
It's you.
It's me! If I went to hell and came back as a demon.
Spitting image of Sayori. I did not notice that either.
Yeah, I never noticed before, but now that's all I can see when I look at him from behind.
Thing is, people are normally running from Doom, not chasing him, so they normally don't get to see the dreads.
Oh boy. So we will resume once again and go back to our full vision here. So Ace, he'll just scoot back down to the bottom lane using that Surge. Working on his Soul Ring, has the recipe up, and we'll be able to finish it off here momentarily. How's Link doing here in the top lane? Not quite the last hit leader, chilling by about 6 behind the Doom, but he is level 5, has the phase boots up, and he's in free farm heaven now as Bat Rider has left the lane.
Yeah, he levels Searing Chains up to level 3, and I imagine from here we'll just see Sleight of Fist max. You can also, well, I don't know. It's weird to take the 1-point Flame Guard and not level it up.
He did do this. This is a really funky Ember Spirit build. 3-1-1 is just not very common.
The build that you see a lot is like 2 points in Flame Guard, and then you have a decent Magic Absorb, or you max Flame Guard and just get the 1-point Searing Chains and max Sleight of Fist as well.
Yeah, either 3-2-0, 1-1-3, or 2-1-2 are the most common Ember builds by far, and this is, yeah, it's a little different, but ultimately he's just farming away, and he probably won't be fighting before it really makes a difference anyhow.
ZMAJ, not ZSMJ. look, tried to cliff the Earthshaker, but did not get good enough vision for it.
Yep. Yeah, you can just call him Mitch.
They gotta kill the SF though. Like giving away a first blood mid. Sure, he didn't get the last hit, but he's up to 950 gold. Almost. Oh, Stalkhead almost died in neutrals, but he'll clean them up. And yeah, if they don't gank him soon, he'll have a Midas. Meanwhile, bottom lane, there is a gank. Doom was used.
And now Ace. I don't think he'll survive this one. Best they can do is hope for a deny. Rise. He'll miss the hook shot, and then Darkseer just dies to the Wrath of Doom. So that was. You even see the ping coming out like, come on, dude.
Yeah, misses the hook shot and doesn't deny him. That is... And he TP's out of mid as well. And he's used hook shot now, so...
Yeah.
There's no threat for the Shadow Fiend. I mean, maybe a little bit to Fissure Battery Salt. And another just pick. Poor crit. Poor MYM. They have to be frustrated at this point.
Yeah, it's one of those things that there's not much we can really do about it.
They're not... Maybe they'll just control him.
Yeah. I mean, there comes a point where you can only pause so much. Do we have a firm rule about pauses here, LD, or do we just...
if they want to play without him, that's their prerogative.
No, but I mean, like, in the amount of times MYM can pause before they have to play without him? Do they have more pauses remaining? I think Starlighter has, like, a 3-pause up to 10-minute policy, something like that.
I mean, every league has, like, a number, but ultimately they'll just do what's reasonable.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's going to be 30 minutes of pauses, we will say, sorry, you got to play. But
drop the hammer. Admin LD will come swooping in through it on a vine.
Mm-hmm.
Resume this game, boys. We got a schedule to keep. Anyway, Mantis in good shape now, securing that kill, and still our last hit leader. He is #1 on net worth by a big margin. Had a nice early hand of Midas, phase boots, working on drums with that Robe of the Magi, and wow, this is already a little bit scary. Look at that net worth chart. 4.5k compared to the 3.3 on Ember, who is the leading farmer for MYM. Shadow Fiend still hasn't grabbed a Midas yet, but he has 1,700 gold, and if that's what he wants, he'll have it before too long.
Yeah, the other issue for MYM is, sure they're running Ember Spirit, but have they actually been stacking the jungle for him? This camp was warded off by Next.kz when the game started, and has only now been starting to get used. They have no stacks in their woods. The Earthshaker's just been sitting mid. They are going to make a move on the mid lane, And they haven't stacked Ancients. And Ember's their only real physical damage.
That was a radiant pause, by the way. That was Next.kz pausing for MYM. Good guy Reeves over here.
Well, I think MYM have just said, you know what, screw it. He's not coming back. Internet is not working out for him today.
Earthshaker looks pretty cool also. Ground pound. Yep.
Yep. Thanks for that one, buddy.
Doing my best here, pal. Oh, man.
Yeah, MYM, it's their final match. They are in no position to advance, and I imagine at this point, just, yeah, they're like, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, there have been games for group stages in general, for tournaments we've run, for other events where, yeah, a team can advance, but it still is fun, but, you know, can't fault them for having internet problems. So.
Yeah, it seems like it's out of his control. They said he was disconnecting from TeamSpeak as well, so only so much you can do.
The last, so anyway, I guess this match not too interesting right now, but the last match for the day is going to be PR versus Relax. PR is currently, let's see.
Standings. There we go. Power Rangers. They're 2-1 and 2. And who are they playing? I think you just said it, but I was admiring Bad
Relax.
Relax. Okay.
Yeah,
Relax.
They're
playing
both
Relax. 2-1, and it's. I'll tell you, man. Power Rangers were looking good yesterday. They lost to rox.kis, and having trouble remembering the fine print of what went wrong in that match. They did some funky lanes, I think. That was the Centaur mid game. Yeah, they tried to do a dual lane with Centaur mid. He got an early Blink Dagger, but then failed his first gank and fell too far behind. And then it turned into one of those. Centaur would jump in, get off his Swift Stomp double edge, and then they would just kill him because he wasn't tanky enough to survive his own double edge. So it ended up being a bit of a disaster. But all in all, of the 3 games they played yesterday, they were looking fierce. And Relax will definitely have their work cut out for him. Scandal has really... Like, ZXC was kind of a weak mid player, I think, and especially compared to Scandal. So, like... I think ZXC was their weakest player, and Scandal is a really good player, so now that he's on their roster, Power Rangers are legit contenders here, LD.
We're going the wrong direction.
They're dropping like flies. Oh, man. I did a ZG raid on that Vanilla WoW server I play on, and there's the Bat Boss, and the models were like the units that in Warcraft 3 Bat Rider was based off of. I tried to take a screenshot of them and share it with the world, but then I died to the fire and decided, maybe it's not meant to be. But the models come a long way. The bat doesn't look very happy, though. He doesn't look very satisfied to be ridden by a goblin.
I don't know, man. I'm not too worried about the bat's feelings. You're going like meta on me.
Going all meta on the Bat Rider.
You're like deep into the Dota lore. That's like ultra obscure. How does Bat Rider's steed feel about?
4 versus 4. All right. Shiver DDoS.
Jesus. Well,
do all of the mounts have names in Dota, or is it just Nova? Nova's the only one that I know of. Roland's thinking. He's making that face just like, are there? Like Disraptor? I don't know.
Dota.
Raptor the Raptor.
I'm excited for 6.81. I hope it
I
comes
am
out
too.
today. It's already been like such a tease. It was like, oh.
How long do they usually wait after they do the?
I don't know, just like 3 days.
Yeah.
It's already been longer than normal. I'm pretty sure. So, I want our bundle out. I want the 6.81 patch out.
Get that ticket. Everyone's excited about the ticket.
Everybody's excited about gaming.
Everyone's excited about gaming. Woo! LD 2014. Everybody loves games. Aw, Tito. 4-on-4.
Well,
MSN error. What does that even mean? Who uses MSN?
Were they actually an internet provider, Microsoft Network?
I'm not.
Honestly,
I think they were like dial-up days.
They were a dial-up provider. Maybe this is dial-up provider. I don't know, dude.
It's like on point with back in the Netscape days. All right, they're ready. We're going without our Earthshaker here, so
They're pretty. Honestly, they're quite screwed.
this is.
This is so bad.
I mean, even if the Earthshaker was here, they're already in rough shape. 3,000 gold deficit, almost a 2,000 experience deficit, and there are
2 Midases
Is
and
there a-
Devour Gold.
so 2 Handsome Midas and Devour Gold. Already off to a rough start, and it's a 4v5 on top of that. Crit is level 4, so maybe they can make it happen.
And the
hook shot onto the Shadow Fiend. He'll get glimpsed back, and Shadow Fiend survives for now. Crit comes in, but the damage isn't there. Oh, Disruptor.
Disruptor is so good at countering Clockwork Initiation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to be fair, if they had Ancient Apparition, Earthshaker, and Clockwork there, which was like kind of the idea, at least I thought it was, then they would be getting these kills anyway. But well, Ancient Apparition is off top. I still go, like, even before he disconnected, though, like, they should have bought a Smoke at level 1 with those 2 heroes. That a lot of their strength is their early ganking power. I'm also surprised at the way the Ember built, given that they wanted to tri-lane top at first, because they could have gotten potentially a first blood there. So, I think MYM just off their game. They've been having a rough few days lately, and maybe not on their best of spirits right now.
Yeah, Ember Spirit will have his Perseverance, so he's working towards the Battle Fury. Pretty standard stuff there. Ace still only on Brown Boots Soul Ring. He has 21 CS, but hasn't been able to find much else around the map, and is pretty lackluster farm in general. Batrider now has his Blink Dagger up. Right around that 9.5 minute mark, he's leaving the well, has a smoke already, and he'll be looking for blood. There's also your Drum of Endurance up on the Doom.
Yeah, next stop for Mantis is normally Shadowblade, so one of the few Doom players that still goes for it, but...
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of Dooms have not been enjoying that build recently.
Well, they're going to smoke. They want to shut down the Ember because they know if there's not a farmed Ember on MYM's team, they are not taking this game against Double Midas, against Free Farm SF. The other thing is this draws pressure away from mid and makes it safe for SF. Smoke will be revealed, but they'll find Ancient Apparition, and he is pretty dead. And they might kill Ember if he comes in as well.
Yeah, no way AA could save himself from that one. Doom does have the Pack Leader's Aura and the crit from that Alpha Wolf in the belly right now, so he's actually hitting pretty hard, even though he's only level 9 and just has a couple of core items. His ultimate is still available, so Ember Spirit will have to be very careful up here.
They'll rotate now towards mid. They still have Doom, like you mentioned, and they could get this ace kill. Oh, he'll surge out just in time.
Yeah, just in the nick of time as well. And now Rise, he's coming up, does have a hook shot available. Earn, Brown Boots, and a Belt of Strength.
Oh, they have vision now. Can they? Oh, no.
Rise.
Went for the shot in the dark, and unfortunately, well, he couldn't have gotten bat anyway because he had Firefly up. But
yeah.
Just another rough game for Rise. Can't get anything done, man. He's been... We need, like, a charity fund for him. I don't know. I feel bad.
Charity fund for
He's a good
Rise.
player, too. He's just had a really bad run the past few days.
Yeah, it's true. He's already... His hook shot percentage this game is not in the green, I don't think. Unicorn,
Well, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? So.
There was a post on the front page of Reddit that was today that was like you miss 100% of the quotes that you don't research, and it was that quote butchered, just like every goal that you don't go for you won't get by Wayne Gretzky. Yeah, you're a little off the mark on that one.
Yeah, he's a little more clever than that. Well, the one thing MYM have, I guess, is the Battle Fury Ember and the big AoE combo. They do have Ancient Apparition online. Their team fight is annoying. Next.kz will not have the best time 5-banning into them, and if they try to, they could be in trouble. So, can't 100% count them out, but again, like, they're not stacking the Ancients for him, they're not stacking the Woods at all. They have 0 stacks, actually, anywhere, and they're rushing Battle Fury and Ember, so... Well, bottom lane, Unicorn. Midget Glimpse, but not enough to do anything.
Midget Glimpse, yeah. In the mid, Rise. He's got a hook shot. He scouts it out. This time, he'll be on the money. Connects with the Shadow Fiend. Darkseer inbound for a bit of extra damage. And Rise will secure the kill. The Requiem of Souls almost takes him out, and it will secure the follow-up kill. But I guess worth it for the Clockwork.
They do have a Blink cooling down fairly soon. Maybe Stallcat looks to dive this. Not with crit there. Bottom lane.
Doom comes out onto Unicorn. Mantis will just dive in. Oh,
Look at those big crits.
Double crits just cuts him down. Link now hopping forward has already burned the bolas, and Mantis
He did not
will
have
just
mana
TP
for
out.
Didn't have mana to activate the Fire Remnants.
Unfortunate. So nice dive from Doom, and it will be a 1-0 in the bottom lane, and then a 1-1 in the mid. ZM8J, he gets vacuumed back, but he steals the Surge, and then he scoots back to safety. Scoot.
Yeah, the problem is, like, they can secure the Embers farm, but it's a 1-core Ember, and they're not winning the laning stage. So they get to the mid game, he could have 3-4 items, he gets doomed, lassoed, right-click, toast.
Yep. And Shadowfiend still doesn't even really have any items. He went Hand of Midas, has Power Treads, Bottle, and a Wraithband, but not much else besides that. There will be a Fissure that comes out. Ace, the Ion Shell on, pressing forward, but they just won't have the damage. Shadowfiend will be just fine.
Hook shot in.
Oh, and it's a creep. And now Stallcat, he hops forward. That's a lasso. Requiem of Souls comes out. No way Rise will make it out from this one. Cogs on top of the Firefly. Ice Blast comes in, connects with 3. But will the follow-up damage be there? Doesn't look like it. Doom in the front lines. Doesn't have the ultimate backup. Gets caught in the Searing Chains from Link. There's your Static Storm, but still chops down the Darkseer before he goes out. Now he just turns onto Link and cuts him down as well. Doom pays with his life, but he secures these
Fissure.
kills.
They can maybe dive for more kills. No, not going to go yet.
No, they're pinging out crit. They want to pick on the disconnected one. There's your Fissure, but doesn't really lock him out. Oh, the Flame Break over the Fissure. Cheeky, cheeky. They secure that kill. That is a 4-for-1 in the mid lane.
Dem plays, and I think MYM might be close to GGing. Rise is not leaving the fountain.
Yeah, I mean,
this is not looking good for them.
You can't really blame him already. Yep, GG, well played. At least they say the sorry. Good guys, MYM. To be fair, Crit was having some legit connection issues. It took us a while to load into this game.
Well, that was anticlimactic, but end of the day, MYM wasn't going anywhere as far as playoffs go with the rough start they had. 1-6, they finished the groups.
You know what they say, LD? Sometimes you eat the bear, and some days the bear eats you.
Usually the bear eats you.
Yeah, usually. Well, today, Next.kz got to eat the bear. Kind of lucked their way into a free win over MYM, but they were the pretty heavy favorites coming in anyhow. So we'll have one last match coming up today. LD, how long is our break going to be? We were still getting into that one. Is it only a 10-minute break? Or
25 minutes,
25
and then
minutes,
we'll
okay.
have Power Rangers versus Relax.
Yep. You're watching the Summit EU. One more best of one for the group stages coming next. Stay tuned, or, well, go get yourself some food, a little snack, maybe a drink, then come on back in 20 minutes. We've got one more game coming up, guys.